my name is Zach and I'm with MTG Poke Hero. Remember, if you like our video, hit subscribe, like, tell your friends about us. We're brand new and we're just trying to get it all started out. Our next video in the Ixalan Spoilers series is all about the Merfolk. So Merfolk, they've been around for a while. What's really interesting about these guys, though, in here, is originally they had them paired off with the Pirates, and then they wanted 4 groups, so they broke them off from the Pirates. And if you want to know anything more about that, just go and watch the World Builder video over there. Our first Merfolk is Headwater Sentries. It's 3 generic mana and 1 blue for a Merfolk Warrior. It's a 2/5. That's really just about it. Limited. Other than that, you're not really going to see this anywhere else. It's kind of meh. Oh, okay. Here is Tishana's Wayfinder for 2 generic mana and a green. So this is our first green Merfolk. And a lot of people are like, oh, they're green now instead of just blue. And it's really cool to see it. Not only that, this is our first Explorer's creature. It's a creature Merfolk Scout. When Tishana's Wayfinder enters the battlefield, it explores. So basically, you get to reveal the top card of your library, put that card into your hand if it's a land, otherwise put a +1/+1 counter on it if it's a creature, and then put it back or put it into your graveyard. Oh, it's pretty neat. I like the idea. I mean, possibly you have a 3/3 for 3. You're going to play this in limited. Maybe if the Merfolk deck starts shading out. I mean, it's got some decent cards so far, but it looks like it's kind of having that issue with like the Vampires does, is that we don't really see all the pieces yet. We don't know exactly what all they're bringing out. So hopefully we get to see something really cool come from these guys. Okay. Our next is actually I'm pretty excited about. This kind of like shows that the Merfolk deck has something coming. It's a Deep Root Waters. It's 2 generic mana and a blue. For a blue enchantment, whenever you cast a Merfolk spell, put a 1/1 blue Merfolk creature token with hexproof. Oh, this card is so good. I think I've heard some people talking about going in Modern, in Legacy. I mean, those Merfolk decks, I mean, they curve out really quick. It's definitely something that I think we should be looking at. Even doing this with Metallic Mimic. So then you have these 2/2s coming in every time you play one. Metallic Mimic is going to be broken, but that's other than side the fact. But all in all, I mean, it looks like it's shaping out pretty well. I really like this card. I love the artwork and how they're like coming out of the water because it's deep within the roots. Our next one is Karima's Speaker. It's a generic. And I'm sorry, there's no generic. This card is just good. It's 1 green, creature Merfolk Shaman, uncommon. Karima's Speaker gets +1/+1 as long as you control another Merfolk or an island. I've seen a lot of people compare this to Wild Nacatl. I mean, this definitely can be standard playable. We're just going to have to see where it goes from here. You're going to play it in limited, especially if you're playing the Merfolk limited deck, which looks like it's going to be shaping out okay. But all in all, I mean, it's a really decent card, and a 2/2 for 1. You can't beat those. I mean, Commander and everything else. So, we might see the Merfolk's decks, change up a little bit, which is going to be really cool. Our next card is Shapers of Nature. It's 1 generic mana, a green and a blue for a creature Shaman uncommon. For 3 generic mana and a green, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. For 2 generic mana and a blue, remove +1/+1 counter from target creature you control and draw a card. So basically, I mean, it's a mana sink for limited. It's card advantage as well. It shapes how you want to play your game. So, I mean, they really did really good with the flavor text and how you can play it. I don't think it'll see standard play. To be 100% honest, it's going to see, if you've got a Merfolk Commander, you'll see play in there. Probably will see play in limited. But I mean, other than that, I don't see it having much play outside of those formats. Okay, so we have another rare Merfolk, Walker of the Winds, pay 2 generic mana, 2 green, it's a creature Merfolk Shaman. For X, and 2 green, put X +1/+1 counters on target land you control. That land becomes a 0/0 elemental with haste, and it's still a land. Limited bomb. It's going to do really good. You can definitely play it in Commander. But I mean, other than that, I don't think it's going to see as much play out there. I love the ability to just be able to create more dudes. I mean, in Limited, if you get this, you're going to play it. It's a late game sync that creates, possibly you can get a bigger dude out of it. And not only that, that land gets haste. The only deal is that it has certain removal it loses to, but I think the main removal within this limited format is going to be Lightning Strike and Walk the Plank. It dies to both of those, so you need to be careful whenever you're playing it. But other than that, it's a pretty decent card. Okay. The next one is the Deep Root Champion. For 1 generic mana and a green, you get a creature, Merfolk Shaman, rare. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you get to put a +1/+1 counter on Deep Root Shaman. Champion. So, it's a 1/1 starting out. It kind of makes me really interested in what they have. That's going to be for, like, Merfolk support. That's going to be able to kind of ramp this thing up a little bit. I don't know. It looks pretty neat, and I'm super excited about it. As I mentioned earlier, it dies to all the removal with the limited format. In Standard, it's going to die it dies to push, Walk the Plank, Abrade, Harness Lightning, and Lightning Strike. And so we're just going to have to see where it goes from here. But, I mean, all in all, it could be a pretty decent card. As I mentioned earlier, we're just waiting to see what kind of support we get. Okay. So, I've seen people go kind of crazy about this guy here, so it's Herald of Secret Streams. It's 3 generic mana and a blue. Creatures you control with a +1/+1 counter on them can't be blocked. So definitely it's going to be in the Merfolk deck if that comes around. I mean, we look like we've got some ways to get some +1/+1 counters. It's a 2/3, so I mean, dies most of the removal, which stinks. I've seen a lot of people talking about this in like a blue-green kind of mid-range aggro deck with Murderous Gearhulk. So be able to distribute all the counters to everybody. Everybody becomes unblocked. Blockable. I mean, oh no, it's a pretty decent card. I want to see where it goes from here. But, I mean, it looks pretty cool. I'm super excited. Even some people have been talking about it in Modern. I don't know if I push it that far, but we'll just see where it goes. Okay. This was the Professor's preview card, because obviously he loves Merfolk. This is Kapala, Warden of Waves. It's 1 generic mana and 2 blue for a legendary creature, Merfolk Wizard. Spells your opponent casts that target a Merfolk you control cost 2 more to cast. The abilities your opponent casts that target a Merfolk you control cost 2 more to activate. It's a 2/2. I've heard about this in Modern. It's definitely probably going to go in that Modern mono blue Merfolk deck. I mean, it's a great card, and it's kind of something that they needed. I mean, when this sucker comes down, it's going to be super hard to deal with for the most part. But we'll just see how it goes. Standard, we're going to have to, Standard, we're just waiting. The more spoilers we get, the more we'll be able to see how these decks shape up and form. Alright, and this is Tishana, the Voice of Thunder. It's 5 generic mana, a green and a blue. It's a legendary Merfolk Shaman, mythic rare. Tishana, Voice of Thunder's power and toughness are equal to the number of cards in your hand. You have no maximum hand size. When Tishana enters the battlefield, you draw a card for each creature you control. Alright, so possibly for new commander, I don't know if it's going to replace the mono blue commander. I don't remember exactly what a lot of people are playing. Probably Kapala now. But, I mean, it's not going to see standard play. It's too big. I mean, it costs too much. And, I mean, unless something drastic happens, it's about where it's going to stay as in commander. Limited bomb, if you can get up to 7 mana. I think once you do, though, just being able to almost refill your hand, kind of. I mean, it has its ups and downs, but we'll see where it goes from here. Alright, everyone. Let me double check and make sure. Yep. That's all the Merfolk. We only had 10 cards that are specifically for the Merfolk. So hopefully we get some more here today. That's what I'm kind of hoping for. I'm going to move on to the next. Got 2 more creature types left after that. We're going to knock out some of the other stuff that kind of didn't fit in these categories. But all in all, this is Zach from MTG Poke Hero. If you liked us, remember, hit like, subscribe, add us. There's a bell right there. you can click that and it notifies you every time I upload a video. But other than that, may the top decks be forever in your favor. Thanks.